Okay, everybody. So we're going to talk a little bit about Giveth here. Well, we'll talk with Gardens, then go to Giveth, just because there's some news I think that's worth sharing there. And then I guess we'll have, again, the folks from DHive join us in just a bit here. I see Dash in the stage audience here. Dash, if you'd raise your hand when you're ready to come up, and maybe if their team is ready to join as well, just raise your hand and we can make that happen. When we need to. So if you're just joining us for the first time and you're not familiar with Gardens, you should definitely check it out. This is an awesome DAO tooling, DAO stack option, right? And we can talk a little bit about it in specific, in specificity in another stream. There's some good video content on the YouTube channel. If you go to gardens.onehive.org, for the first time when you first arrive there will be a video that shows up that'll give you a little bit of context. But I want to start here, just talk a little bit about what's happening around the Garden and sort of the Gnosis Chain DAO space, at least within the Gardens infrastructure. So the TEC launched last week, and this is a big deal. This is something that's been months in the making, and so they will be. I believe the bonding curve opens. I think it's this week. I have to double check again with Chewy, but the TEC is definitely. If you're not aware of the Token Engineering Commons, head over to their Discord, and you can. They got a great onboarding process. Eduardo, that was just with us, actually is he's a core contributor at the TEC, so he can help you get acquainted if you're interested in learning more about the Token Engineering Commons. And then for Giveth, they have their governance on Gardens as well, but I wanted to share with everybody over here. GIV is the subdomain for reaching their DApp here. So, or I guess you go to giveth.io and then navigate here as well. But give.giveth.io will take you to the GIVeconomy, and you have different navigation options here if you haven't seen this before. But the reason I brought you here today is to share about GIVbacks, and round 2 actually has started. I think that this needs to update here, or maybe you just have to connect your wallet. But the bottom line is here, Giveth. I'm going to open this in a new tab. Giveth.io is a crypto. It's a form of crypto charity. I think it's really trying to redefine what charity means, or maybe use a different word to describe what Giveth does, but it verifies projects to receive crypto donations, and you can check out the list of projects. They have a lot of awesome stuff here. You can create your own project and get verified if you wish. But this Giveth platform has been around for a while. The GIVeconomy integrates the Give token, GIV, Give token. You can get it on mainnet. You can get it on Gnosis Chain, on HoneySwap if you want to, to buy Give. Not financial advice here, but this is it's a great way for you to, get involved in this really awesome charity project. And the way that GIVbacks work is that if you give your Give, okay, or you can give other types of crypto to a project that is verified. So let's just take Free the Food. So you can learn more here about the project. It'll take you to their page. You can look at the total amount of donations they received. You can look at the history of donations. A lot of people giving Give, and this is what I'm trying to recommend that people do. So I can it's interesting because I feel like I can say to you, if you buy Give and then give it, right, that's not financial advice. What I'm saying here is you can donate. You can donate. I think they have a couple different options here. You want to connect to Gnosis Chain, but you should have a number of options on Gnosis Chain. I think XDAI and Give, at least, that you can give to these projects. And when you donate to verified projects on Giveth, like Free the Food, you are going to receive some Give in return. Right, so this is important. This is sort of part of the magic here, is that by participating in giving in charity, you actually stand to receive a bit of crypto in return. Now, this will be vested over time in the form of a Give stream, okay, over the next 5 or so years. But the thing to note about GIVbacks is if you decide to go and you say you buy some Give on HoneySwap and you go donate it to a project that you like, it may not immediately appear on the UI here because the GIVbacks are arranged into rounds. So right now we're actually on round 2, and it does end, I believe, at the beginning of February. So you have a couple weeks here to give on Giveth.io, and at the end of the round, you will essentially, the quantity of Give that is due to you, it will be released into your stream, and you'll start to receive it over time. So I just wanted to give a plug there for Giveth. I think this is just one of the really cool projects on Gnosis Chain and in general in crypto, and they have a really cool token economy that's live here. So TEC, keep an eye out, Garden or on the Garden, and for Giveth as well. If you haven't had a chance to go over to the website, you definitely should.